Welcome back. International Aid Organisation Ashraful will be taking several tons of food to KwaZulu-Natal, which continues to be ravaged by the ongoing violence and the looting there. SABC news reporter Chriselda Lewis will travel by air with the food aid, and we cross over to her right now before takeoff. A very good morning to you, Chriselda. Thanks indeed for joining us. Where are you exactly and what's happening?
Well, Simpiwe, a very good morning to you. You would know, of course, that just about 30 minutes ago, the presidency had announced that President Cyril Ramaphosa and Police Minister Begicele will be in Durban today as the ongoing violence continues to ravage KwaZulu-Natal. And right here next to me, you would know that there's been quite a lot of concerns about food shortages. We've seen visuals coming out of KwaZulu-Natal as a result of the damage that has been caused to shopping malls and several other infrastructure. Food itself is becoming an issue, and you'd know that people have been queuing at areas where there has been no effect. Very few areas where there's been no effect, seeing long lines of people trying to access essentials. So at this critical time, there's going to be a lot of assistance that is going to be needed to try and assist, in particular, the most vulnerable, who are going to be the brunt of days of violence that we've seen here in Johannesburg. While much of that has simmered down, we're going to take a flight with the SEM Air to KwaZulu-Natal. They're working hand in hand with Ashraful, an international aid organization. Now take a look here. 4 tons of much needed aid, which will this morning take off at about 11 o'clock. Much needed food aid, which will be taken to KwaZulu-Natal. And the beneficiaries of this, of course, what you have here, those basic essentials that people would need, in particular during this time of crisis. You have some samp, you have some cooking oil, you have some sugar. You also have some maize meal, just some of the basic necessities. But this is not the first consignment that has left through Ashraful in assistance with SAM Air from Johannesburg to KwaZulu-Natal. We'll find out just very shortly exactly how much has gone thus far. We're scheduled to take off at about 11 o'clock this morning for KwaZulu-Natal. We'll bring you some of the live visuals. This then will also be, put onto the aircraft, and we'll head towards KwaZulu-Natal, and I guess many people would get an opportunity then to benefit from some of the aid that is being taken to that affected area. I want to bring in the CEO of SEM now. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. We really appreciate your time. I mean, talk to us a bit about this. Talk to us a bit about this 4 tons that is leaving here today. And this is obviously not the first batch that is leaving.
Well, just this over here is 4 tons. That excludes all of this, which is probably more than double that again. We've seen an enormous outpouring of support for the plight of people in Durban. There are concerns that that this food might be aiding the looters, but I can assure everybody that the Ashraful guys you have a wonderful way of ensuring that this is getting into the right hands and supporting those that need the most support. This aircraft that's taxiing in now will be carrying this cargo to Durban, and we are expecting to see a lot more come today as all sorts of organizations try and get on board to help those that need basic assistance so badly right now.
Yeah. How many people are scheduled to benefit from this, Miles? Because I know that the previously several other tons have also gone. Also talk to us a bit about what you're hearing from the ground in terms of the basic needs of people who are mostly affected by this.
The needs are for food, nappies, a lot of childcare products are being requested, in medicine. There's a shortage of that. The city seems to have run short of those basic supplies. We're only involved in the logistics of getting it to Durban. Ashraful would be better positioned to tell you exactly how the distribution works and how many people they're going to assist. But this is about 400 food packages which will help 400 families through this weekend. And hopefully next week we'll see a calming down of the situation there and a slow normalization thereafter.
Yeah. Are you scheduled to take take more aid? I understand there's also a flight that leaves this afternoon. There's also a flight possibly that will leave tomorrow. Do you have any details on that?
Absolutely. We have 3 flights today, which will hopefully clear this and a little bit more. We have one flight tomorrow, and then we pick up again on Sunday with a similar schedule. And we'll continue. There's a lot of people wanting to leave Durban, but a fairly light load into Durban, so we're using that space to take aid to those people in Durban that'll be remaining there.
Miles Fadamono, thank you very much, the CEO of SEMA. Thanks indeed. This is the aircraft. Let's just take you to these live visuals here, Simpiwe. This is the aircraft that will load these 4 tons, which we will leave with from here in Johannesburg at the OR Tambo International Airport. And it will be loaded on there. We're scheduled to take off at about 11 o'clock this morning. You heard again another flight which is scheduled to leave after 2 o'clock this afternoon. Another one tomorrow. And this is absolutely significant, where you see business as well as aid organizations coming together to try and assist in some of the most affected areas. You would have seen those visuals coming out of Durban as the looting and violence continues. Much need for food, people running out of basic necessities. I mean, just here in Johannesburg, Simpiwe, we had been affected in areas where in Soweto we moved towards areas where there were long lines already, where people had basically flocked to because of the the places that had not been affected. So you have everyone flocking to one space where, some of the malls are still standing, or some of the shops for the basic necessities. So you can only imagine what the impact in KwaZulu-Natal is. So these 4 tons that we're going to be leaving with will assist those families, especially those in particular who are most vulnerable. And again, these basic necessities, your baked beans, your cooking oil, your maize, as well as some sugar, those basic necessities will certainly go a long way in trying to alleviate the situation itself. So in just about a few moments, you see here as well some of those who are going to be participating in the loading of this. Perhaps you would want to stay with us just a little bit, but this will be the food aid. Let me just take a look. Nappies as well. I heard some, just take a look here. These are some of the nappies that will also be sent to KwaZulu-Natal. It forms part of this consignment that has been sent food aid to assist, in the sense that we're hearing, and I was speaking to one of those at Ashraful, the international organization, indicating that some people, and you would forgive my language, have been using pads for their children because they simply cannot access Pampers or cannot access, what babies obviously would need. So quite crucial. You have Pampers here as well, that in need for babies, some water as well, and something to keep those nourished. Remember, we're also in the middle of a global pandemic. So at this particular time in KwaZulu-Natal, while there are so many concerns about the ongoing violence, it's the health and safety of those who are most impacted by this. And I think that is what is also necessitated now. The president himself, who we understand will be in KwaZulu-Natal as the violence continues there. The presidency releasing that statement. I'm sure you have that story, Simpiwe, and the police minister trying to see if that's going to quell the situation there. But on the back foot of that, the human space of it all, the human element of it all, is that there are people who in the violence, in the looting, have lost everything, and they're going to need that kind of assistance. So this is the aircraft that will be taking this food aid to KwaZulu-Natal, much needed. And some people will come back to you again just a little bit later on once they begin to load this, and then of course while we're in the air, and we'll chat as well to the Aid Organisation and get a sense of exactly how much in total so far they've managed to take to KwaZulu-Natal. So many coming together, holding hands to try and assist those most desperate and left extremely vulnerable by the ongoing situation in KwaZulu-Natal.
All right, Chriselda, thank you so much for that. We'll definitely be crossing back to you as you prepare to take off to KwaZulu-Natal to deliver that much-needed aid. That was Chriselda Lewis speaking to us live from OR Tambo International Airport, where we've seen Ashraful, which is an international aid organization, assembling people coming together to offer relief to the families affected the most by the ongoing looting and the violence in KwaZulu-Natal.